Next matter is State versus, did we take care of Tracy Phillips?
No, Your Honor, we have not.
All right. Counsel, that reflects a summons. Does your file reflect a service? Finds Mr. Phillips is not here. 9 o'clock docket, it's 12.
It does, Your Honor. The return on the summons that I have in my file would appear to indicate residential service on a third party, seemingly a roommate, back in June.
All right, I'm going to issue a warrant, not a bench warrant, but a warrant for, as there's already been an attempt to get service. It's been unsuccessful. Perhaps it was successful and blown off, but I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to set bond at 1,000 cash or surety.
Very good, Your Honor.
Buckle up, guys. Today we're diving straight into Judge Webster's courtroom, where the tension starts before the defendant even shows up. The judge calls her name, but she's nowhere to be found, leaving the court to issue a warrant. Already, we see the seriousness of skipping court dates. Bond is set at $1,000, and the tone is crystal clear. Ignore the system, and it comes back harder. This no-show sets the stage for the storm that follows.
We are on the record in 2023 TR 3395, State of Kansas versus Tracy Lynn Phillips. Jared Regier for the state. The defendant, Miss Phillips, appears in person and pro se. Let's see. September 4th, the defendant failed to appear. Miss Phillips, I trust you posted that $1,000 cash or surety bond.
Well, yes, I didn't have a choice.
Right. Well, you could have stayed in jail, but that's not a very good choice. All right. We are showing in count one that you are driving. The state's alleging you are driving without a tag or an expired tag, November 8th of 23. And then that the vehicle not only had an expired tag, but a plate was on there that wasn't assigned to it.
And Your Honor,
Yes.
with court certification, I am showing that an amended information was filed back in June of 2024.
Okay, let me go off of that one then. Is this the case where she was here and there were allegations of identity theft or something? I remember her name associated with that. That case was dismissed, wasn't it?
Your Honor, I would need to review my notes further, but the state's understanding is that is an unrelated matter.
Unrelated. Okay. All right. Well, Ms. Phillips, there is an amended information, as counsel said, that was filed June 12th of 2024. And that, the official charging document that you're on today, alleges in count one that you were on November 8th, 2023 in Butler County operating a motor vehicle on a highway of this state while displayed was a license plate or registration decal other than the one assigned. As charged, this is an unclassified misdemeanor and it carries a fine up to $2,500 and a sentence of 30 days to 6 months. Failure to register, count two, was dismissed by the state on June 11, 2024. Then in count three, you're accused of operating that vehicle without insurance or at least being able to provide proof. That is as charged, a B non-person misdemeanor. If convicted, there is a $300 fine up to $1,000 and up to 6 months in the county jail. Count four alleges that you apparently moved from the address given when you applied for and received your Kansas driver's license, and you failed to notify the Division of Motor Vehicles of the new address within 10 days after moving. This charge is an unclassified misdemeanor, which typically carries a fine up to $500, and a possible sentence up to 30 days. I don't know what your history is. I don't know if
That should have also been dropped, because I brought that in. I did that over the internet.
I'm sorry, what did you bring in?
I dropped that, I did that over the internet. My change of address, and had brought that in. The date that was on my actual ticket that the officer gave me, I came in on that date. There was no court date. I brought in that change of address then.
Are you going to want an attorney to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you going to be able to hire an attorney, or do you need to apply for counsel?
I can try and hire an attorney.
You think you have the means to do so? Okay. Well, if you don't, please get an application. You might take an application with you in case you don't. Like maybe you get out there and you find out that they're more expensive than you thought or something like that. So while you're here in the courthouse, it doesn't hurt to take a form with you. And if you need a court appointed, get that back to me soon. Don't wait till your next court date.
Sure.
Because unfortunately, the next attorney docket traffic date, Destiny, is that April 16th also?
No, Your Honor, that would be March 17th.
Oh, okay. March 17th. You need to be back here March 17th. That's St. Patrick's Day. So March 17th at 9 a.m. with your attorney ready to proceed.
All right, guys, now Tracy Phillips finally appears in court, and things quickly heat up. The judge lays out a laundry list of charges: expired tags, improper plates, no insurance, and failing to update her address. Instead of taking responsibility, she insists she already fixed it online, sparking friction. The judge calmly offers her the chance to get an attorney, but even here, Tracy wavers, unsure whether to hire one. This moment plants the seed for the courtroom chaos still to come.
Next one up is Tracy Phillips. She's pro se.
Okay. We are on the record in 23 TR 3395, State of Kansas versus Tracy Lynn Phillips. Jared Regier for the state. Defendant Tracy Phillips appears in person and pro se. Miss Phillips, this is, of course, not your first appearance. That was back September 4th, and you failed to appear at that hearing. Then you were here January 8th, and you wanted to hire an attorney. You were informed if you were able to hire, you needed to fill out an application, which apparently you did not do.
Not for public defender, no.
So how do you want to proceed on these 4 traffic charges: driving without tag, driving without tag displayed, driving without insurance, and driving without changing your address or phone or no?
Yeah, I changed my address. I wasn't driving this vehicle. I mean, I drive a company truck.
All right, so you're pleading not guilty. You want this set
Yes,
for
ma'am.
trial?
Yes, I do.
And are you going to have an attorney represent you?
I'm going to try to. I'm trying to find an attorney.
Okay, but you don't want to apply for court appointed, is that right?
No, I don't. Last one threw me under the bus. I prefer not to do that.
Okay, we're going to go to trial at 1:30 on, what's your next trial date, Jen?
May 14th.
May 14th at 1:30. You must be back here. You can either be in person or by Zoom, May 13th or May 14th at 1:30.
Okay.
But with or without counsel, we're going to take this to trial because.
Not a problem.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Phillips. You're excused at this time.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Here we go, guys. Tracy is back, but this time with no attorney in sight. The judge reminds her she was supposed to apply if she couldn't hire one, but she refuses a court-appointed lawyer, claiming the last one betrayed her. Instead, she insists on going to trial alone, a bold move that reveals her growing defiance. Judge Webster doesn't flinch, setting a firm trial date and warning her that the case is moving forward, attorney or not. The stakes are clearly rising now.
She is a pro se defendant in court security. Now, Miss Phillips, you're charged, we're not on the record yet, but Miss Phillips, you're charged with a tag violation, another form of tag violation,
What?
no liability insurance, and not changing your address. We are set for trial. Are you wanting to have a trial on that, Miss Phillips, or do you want to try to talk to the county attorney and come to a resolution? What's your plan on this, since you're representing yourself?
I'm sorry, I just assume be done with it. I mean, I can talk to the county attorney. I don't have an issue with that as well. I guess I'm not understanding why you don't have my change of address.
Well,
That
I
was
don't
done
get
over the
I don't
internet?
get that. I don't
Okay.
get that. It goes to Topeka Department of Revenue. It's for your
Well,
driver's license.
Yes, well, it was brought in and should have been added to the long time ago when I first got the ticket.
Okay, but it's not like insurance. Well, all right, we'll say that. Right now, we are on the record in 2023 TR 3395, State of Kansas versus Tracy Lynn Phillips. Jared Regier appearing for the state. The defendant, Ms. Phillips, appears in person and pro se. Ms. Phillips, I understand that you're wanting to represent yourself on this matter. Is that correct?
Well, I don't have a choice.
Well, you do. You have had the opportunity since November 8th of 23 to either
Yes, ma'am,
hire
I
an
did.
attorney
To
or
hire an
apply.
attorney. Nobody wants to take my case.
All right. And if you cannot afford an attorney, you've had
It's
the
not
opportunity.
about not affording it. Because I have to need a hand to an attorney. Nobody wants to take my case to deal with Butler County, is the
All
problem.
right. The alternative, if you could not afford it, you could have applied for court appointed. Am I correctly understanding you to say, though, that you could afford it, you just couldn't find an attorney to take the case?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
All right. And so you're going to represent yourself today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Are we going by common law or admiralty law here?
All right, guys, today's trial kicks off, and Tracy shows up determined to represent herself. When pressed, she claims no lawyer would touch her case, and then she drops the bomb, asking if the court is operating under common law or admiralty law. This is classic sovereign citizen rhetoric, and Judge Webster shuts it down immediately, saying Kansas law governs here, not some fantasy legal system. Already, the stage is set for a clash between delusion and reality.
Well, we're going by statutory law in the state of Kansas. So
And if this is a trial, why is there no jury?
this is not a jury trial because it was set for bench trial. You didn't ask for a
Okay.
jury trial.
I didn't consent to any of this, but
All right. So you want to proceed with trial, or did you want to try to negotiate an outcome with the prosecutor?
I can speak with the prosecutor.
Well, I'm not trying to talk you into it. I'm just trying to afford you the opportunity that an attorney would take if he represented
Yes, ma'am,
you.
I understand.
All right. So what is your wish? Do you want, if he's willing to talk to you and if he's willing to consider a negotiation, are you wanting to do that?
Sure. Yes, ma'am.
Now, Mr. Regier, when I ask you this, I don't mean to suggest you have to or that there'll be consequences if you don't. But as I said, I just want to afford the defendant the opportunity, but that's subject to if you want to do it. So do you want to take the time, or are you willing to take the time to visit with her, or do you think there's any productive outcome possible from that?
Your Honor, at this time, the state would request clarification from the court whether it is finding that the defendant is representing herself and has appropriately waived her right to counsel. Based off of prior statements made on the record today, there does appear to be, if the court will pardon the conjecture, a certain degree of ambiguity on that point, and the state would be requesting a formal finding on the record, which would appear to be most procedurally appropriate.
All right. Is the officer still there with you, Miss Phillips?
I am.
Yeah. Mhm.
Could you provide her with a written waiver of counsel to read?
I can.
Thank you. Let me know when she has that. It's Basically, Ms. Phillips, I believe you'll find it to be a brief written statement for you to look over to make sure that you understand your rights concerning an attorney and that you know them and that in spite of the rights, you want to waive them and proceed.
Oh, well, I can already tell you, no, I don't want to. I'm not going to do that.
You're not going to waive your right to an attorney?
No, I'm not going to do that.
Then what are you going to do? I don't see an attorney.
No, ma'am, you don't, but that doesn't stop me from speaking with the DA if he is more than willing to.